Okay, so in this video right here, right? In this video right here is gonna be very fire. I'm gonna teach you step by step how you're gonna lose the belly fat. And it's the only video that you'll ever have to watch about belly fat. If you sit down, take out a pen and paper, and you really just lock in on what I'm saying. Don't listen to this while you're at the gym, half like not even paying attention to it. Don't listen to this in your car. You need to sit down and you need to listen, right? What I'm telling you to do. And then you also need to apply it because it doesn't matter how much information you know. You guys know a lot of shit. You don't apply the right information. So I'm giving you the right information to get you exactly where you want to go. So all you have to do is just apply. That's it. Just get the What's up, everybody? So what I'm going to do right now is give you guys an in-depth breakdown on how to lose the belly fat step by step, okay? This right here is a full blueprint on how you guys are going to lose the belly fat over the next 5, 6, 7 months. It's 100% no BS. It's exactly what I've given my clients. My client right here, Daniel, who went from overweight, not liking the way that he looked, not confident, almost contemplating suicide to ripped, right, with clear muscle definition, abs, right, and in the best shape of his life in less than 6 months. All right. And my client, Raynard, literally went from having in-person trainers that just helped him just lose weight. All right. But still not liking what he saw in the mirror. Right. He knew that he was losing weight, but he wasn't looking the way that he wanted to in the mirror, and he was able to get exactly right here. And that's what I want to provide you guys in this video right here, an exact blueprint to help you guys get the exact body that you want so that you guys don't make the same mistake, so that you guys don't have to go through all the trial and error. I'm going to give you the straight blueprint, okay, right here, all right? So, first, we have to understand these four key principles, okay? We have to understand what belly fat actually is. How do you actually lose belly fat? Do ab workouts actually help you lose belly fat? And how long does it take to lose it? Right. And then I'm going to have the in-depth blueprint at the bottom for you guys. So first we're going to start off with, right, what exactly is belly fat? So belly fat is actually just stored body fat. Okay. Too much belly fat can make your body less healthy and make it harder for you to move, run, and feel strong. Right. It usually happens when you eat more food than your body needs, or you don't move enough. So basically, belly fat is like this. When you eat food, you're intaking energy. And when you don't burn off that energy that you ate, your body just stores it, right? A lot of men, most of their fat is in their lower midsection. It's in their love handles right here, or it's at their chest. As you can see with my client Reynard and with my client Daniel. So I see it all the time. The majority of the time, men's body fat is going to be located in those areas, and then also the back fat. So you probably have belly fat in those areas. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that men think that if they just build muscle while they're trying to, drop body fat, they're going to just get looking like this. No, you don't look like this by trying to build muscle, right? You don't do that. You have to drop all the fat, okay? But we'll get more into that more in depth, okay? But just know that belly fat is just stored fat. So every time you eat food, it contains energy. When you don't burn that energy off, what ends up happening is it stays on your body. And that's the reason why you have all that fat there, okay? So, um, how do you actually lose belly fat? Now, this is a good question that I've been asked many times, okay? So the simple answer is, without boring you guys to death, is by burning more calories than you consume over a long period of time. Now, I know you guys have heard that over and over again, but I'm going to break it down even more, but also being in a calorie deficit, not eating healthy, okay? A lot of people think that just because they're eating healthier now because they're so used to eating like shit, like they'll eat pizza, wings, all that kind of stuff. They'll be like, okay, well, if I just cut this out, I'll lose the stomach fat. That's rarely ever the case because you can eat healthy foods and still have fat. I'm gonna say that one more time. You can still overeat healthy foods and still be overweight, have belly fat because it doesn't come down to eating healthier. It's about eating the right amount of portion sizes so that you can drop that fat. All right. I know plenty of healthy eaters. I can't even talk. I know plenty healthy eaters that cannot drop a lick of fat and actually gain weight because they focus more on what they're eating instead of how much they should be eating. And don't get me wrong, you should be eating healthy. Just you should just be eating healthy for your health, but you still need to know how much you need to eat exactly to get the exact body that you want. So you need to be in what they call a calorie deficit. And you guys have heard that all the time. So with that being said, another common question that I get is, do ab workouts lose belly fat? And this is the thing. A lot of you guys will be like, well, I'm doing ab workouts. I'm just not losing fat. So maybe I just need to do ab workouts. Maybe I just need to do ab workouts. I'm slacking on the ab workouts. No, ab workouts just strengthen your core. I'm gonna say that one more time. Ab workouts just strengthen your core. They don't burn fat. That burning feeling that you're feeling every time you do a crunch or whatever you're doing for abs, that's not burning fat. Working out does not burn fat. Nutrition burns fat. Okay. So every time you do core exercises and you feel that burning feeling, most people associate that with, oh, I'm burning fat. Like I actually feel it. So I feel like I'm, dropping the fat. No, it doesn't work like that. All you're doing is strengthening your core. And strengthening your core is not burning fat. So you'll have a very strengthened core, but you'll have just fat there. Until you get that layer of fat off of your core like this, you will never look like this, or you'll never look like this. They didn't do ab workouts to look like this. I rarely had both of these guys do ab workouts. Rarely. What they had to do though was they had to drop all the fat. So you need to focus on dropping all the fat to at least, I tell my clients they need to drop down to close to 10% body fat in order to look like this. You need to. For your abs to show, you need to drop down to 12 to 10% body fat. Now, if you really want them to show, you need to be down to like 9% body fat. And then your abs will look sharp, just like my client right here, Raynard. Okay. So the last question that I usually get asked is, how long does it take to lose belly fat? Now that really 100% depends on the person, but I noticed that on average it takes about 5 to 6 months, unless you're over 250 pounds. Now, if you're over 250 pounds, it might take close to 7 to 8 months. Now, if you're over 300 pounds, it will take a year. It will take a year. So now you know the time frame. But this is again, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Everyone is different, right? Daniel did this in 6 months, right? Raynard did this in about 7 to 8 months. So it's all dependent on the person, right? But on average, it takes about 5 to 6 months. I know clients that lost all their belly fat in 4 months. 4 months. It literally took them 4 months to lose all their fat. All right. Now, here's the exact, well, before we go into the blueprint, I want you to see this right here. Okay. What this says right here is the gym is where you build muscle. Everything you do outside of the gym is for fat loss. Okay. The gym is where you actually build muscle. So you don't lose fat. Like people have this common misconception. They're like, okay, well, I'm in here doing all these hit workouts and I'm doing all this jumping, sweating, and all that kind of stuff. I'm burning fat because they feel it. They're like, okay, this feels like fat loss. That's not what fat loss is. Everything that you do in the gym is just focusing on building the shape of your body. That's it. The everything that you do outside of the gym is for fat loss. So what does that mean? Your nutrition, how many steps you're getting a day. Are you avoiding the snacks or are you overeating? That's why a lot of people can go to the gym very avidly or very consistently and still not see progress because their habits outside of the gym do not represent their work ethic in the gym. Okay? Very plain and simple. Now, here's the blueprint to drop that stomach fat that you guys have been wanting. Okay? So first, you have to be in a calorie. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Keep your calories between 2,200 to 1,800. Right? You guys should not be eating over 2,300 calories. Um, if you want to drop fat. Some of you guys message me saying, "Oh, I'm eating 2,700 calories." If I were to give any of my clients, right, 2,700 calories, they would be bulking. If I give myself 2,700 calories, I'm bulking. Anything over 2,300 calories is bulking. And bulking means building muscle. Okay? A lot of you guys, if you guys are watching this right now, you should not be trying to build muscle while you have a lot of fat on your frame. You just should. Okay? So keep your calories between 2,200 to 1,800. But how do you know if you're eating that many calories in general? You have to track everything in MyFitnessPal. So you need to go on the MyFitnessPal app right after this video and you need to download it and you need to track everything that you put into your mouth. Pause, right? And then you need to keep your protein intake high to retain muscle. The reason why you guys are losing weight but not keeping definition and not keeping your strength is because you're just you're not tracking any food and then you're just relying on just eating less. Eating less is the worst thing that you can do for fat loss. The worst. What you need to do is you need to keep your protein intake high, right? So that um and your calories between those ranges so that you can still go into the gym and perform, right? Because if you guys just try to eat less, so what will end up happening is you eat little to nothing and you have no energy and you'll feel miserable, or you'll think that you're eating less, but you're actually eating a lot more than what you think. So the only way that you can know how much you're eating exactly you is if you track it. Okay. There's no other way around it. You have to track your food. Okay. Now, number two, you have to walk between 10 to 12,000 steps daily, daily. Okay. So what does that look like? 10 to 12,000 steps daily is close to about 3 to 4 miles. Okay. But you don't have to walk it all at once. You just have to, as soon as you wake up, you have all the way until you go to bed to get 10 to 12,000 steps. I track mine with an Apple Watch. You can track it with a Fitbit. You can track it with a Samsung watch. But the worst thing that you can do is track it with your phone. Okay, do not track it with your phone. It's the most inaccurate thing that you can do. You need to hit that daily. The reason why that's important is because it's going to keep put you deeper in a deficit. And I don't care how you get the steps. You can run the steps, you can jog the steps, you can sprint the steps. It doesn't matter. But you have to get 10 to 12,000 steps a day. And then you'll notice you're dropping the fat more efficiently. You cannot miss a day. That means you have to do it 7 days a week, and you have to track your food 7 days a week. Okay. Number three, you have to strength train at least 3 times per week. Anything under that, you're wasting your time. Do core exercises 2 times a week once your body fat percentage is under 15%. Some of you guys are wasting your time doing ab workouts right now. There's no reason to. Your body fat percentage is way too high. Okay. So you need to strength train at least 3 times a week because if you strength train 3 times a week, you'll be able to build lean muscle tissue. And then that's going to be able to keep your metabolism high so that you can keep the fat off. Muscle isn't bulky. What you think is bulky or what you think muscle is actually fat. Okay. So number four, you need to weigh yourself on a scale daily as soon as you wake up. If you notice weight stays the same for 2 weeks, lower calories by 100. Okay. So this is the thing. A lot of people will say that, or a lot of you guys will be like, oh, I don't really want to, get myself on the scale because if I put myself on the scale too much, then what's going to end up happening is I'm going to be too much into the scale. The scale doesn't matter. The reason why you need to get on the scale though is because first it holds you accountable. If you know that you have to get on the scale the next day, you're going to be very hesitant about eating that bullshit that you're going to eat because you know the scale's going to skyrocket up. All the scale is a representation of uh your of you not doing your steps, and it's a representation of you overeating. And you don't want to face that accountability. But if you're crushing it and you're hitting your calories, you're doing your steps, you can't wait to get on the scale the next day because you're like, oh, I've been killing it, right? And one thing that I tell my clients is this: you do not want to sit there and be so butthurt over the scale because you can do everything right for a minute and the scale still don't go down. I've seen it. I've literally seen clients literally almost, I'm not gonna say break down in tears, but I've seen grown men, right, literally have the whole anxiety attack because they've been hitting their macros, getting their steps in every single day for the last 2 to 3 weeks, but the scale has not moved. Like they're damn near about to quit. And then that one day, right after they talk to me, they're like, "Man, it's I just can't, I can't lose the fat, George, blah blah blah." And then I'm in there and I'm like, "Bro, you have to calm down. All right, you're stressing yourself out. All right, drink some water. Right, just weigh yourself tomorrow." They drop 2 or 3 pounds. Right, the scale doesn't move on your time. It doesn't. It doesn't. Okay. But you do need to weigh yourself on a scale daily as soon as you wake up. It's non negotiable. It's non negotiable. If you were to weigh yourself every single morning, then you'll know when to lower your calories. If you don't, then you won't know, and you won't even know if you're in a plateau or not. So you need to do it. This is the blueprint, though. If you do this every day, right, and if you apply this blueprint, you'll have no problem losing fat. But like I told you in the video previously, calories must be adjusted when you hit a plateau, and you need proper macros. Okay, you can't just be focusing on just calories, right? And then eating a lot of protein or eating more protein. You actually need macros for your body. In order to make a transformation like this is proper macro manipulation. Proper macro manipulation. Okay? I had these guys I I told well, I went in there and did it for them, right? I lowered their calories for them, right? I upped their protein intake when they needed it. I lowered their carbs when they needed it, right? So that they could keep on breaking out of that plateau. Now, again, you can have a professional do it, right? And then it'll save you a lot of time and energy, like myself, or you can just go in there and do it yourself and waste a lot of time trying to figure it out. It's totally up to you. But the link is in the bio, okay? Now, with that being said, this is a full breakdown on how to lose the belly fat step by step. If you follow this, you study this, you have no problem losing the fat, right? As long as you can stick to the blueprint. You can stick to the blueprint long enough, you'll get the results that you want. But I noticed that a lot of men, they have this issue, right? And it's an issue that these two guys had too, right? When you're not seeing results for a while, you start to doubt, right? And then when that doubt creeps in, you actually talk yourself out of your goals. Talk yourself out of your goals, right? So then you start saying that, hey, I deserve that cheeseburger. Hey, I deserve to have that cheat meal. And then that cheat meal turns into a couple cheat days. Those cheat days turn into cheat weeks. And then those cheat weeks turn into cheat months. And then you're on this constant cycle of starting and stopping, on and off, on and off, on and off. Right. And that's what really holds people back. That's what I noticed. So the main reason why you guys can't lose the fat is because you have lack of accountability, not lack of information. But you do have the information right here to use. I've broken it down clear as day for you. Okay. So yeah, I will be giving out, more game here on this channel more consistently. All right. I will have, more vlogs and stuff like that too. But then, I want to drop some value for you guys too. All right. So this is the value that I'm going to give you guys, at least for this week. Might drop some more value, coming soon. But if this helped you guys out, in the comments, right, just let me know. Be like, hey, I appreciate this. Can you break down this topic? Can you show me this? Right. And I'll be more than happy to, create a video for you guys to help you guys out with your fitness goals. All right. Other than that, catch you guys later, man. Right. Hopefully, you guys lose some fat with this, bro, because this is really going to get you to exactly to where you guys want to go in 2026. Let's get